I'm not here to argue with you. If you want to talk about Pakistan, I can. Anyways.
Take it easy, Reed. You're speaking too fast. I know you're running from the Shia. Take it easy, but they're not going to catch up to you.
Yeah.
So good. You're a Muslim background, Shia or Sunni?
Sunni.
Okay. Sorry to hear that, but go ahead. Are you a Salafi?
No, I'm Maliki.
Maliki, that's a school of jurisprudence. So you're telling me they're not Salafis that can subscribe to the Maliki school? Salafi believe that Allah has hands, He has a shin, He has a foot, He has eyes. So you don't make ta'wil. He really has hands, but they're unlike anything in creation. So do you believe Allah has hands and eyes and a foot and a shin, but it's unlike anything in creation?
Yeah, I believe that they are part of
His... So then you're Salafi. You would sell me for a fee. So you're Salafi. Anyway, what's your question? Go ahead.
Yes, so you said that you asked challenge to refute the Trinity.
Yes, but you don't think you're that smart to refute it. But go ahead, shoot your best shot.
Okay. Mark 10:18, and Jesus said to him.
I've never heard of Mark 10:18. Why do you call me good? There's none good but God alone. I've never heard that one. This is the first time. Did you discover it?
Okay, but
well, wait. Did you discover that? Because I've never heard of Mark 10:18 in my life.
Right.
Okay, now. Before I school you and use that passage to destroy Islam, do you know the context of that passage? What is it about? What goes on that Jesus says before and after that? Or you just read Mark 10:18?
No, I don't.
Okay, see, now you're being honest. See, what you did was, because I've never heard Mark 10:18 in my life, never. This is the first time in 20 years. Yeah, okay. What you did was you went to a website or you heard somebody quote Mark 10:18 and say, this is what you use against the Christians. But he embarrassed you because he didn't tell you what came before and after. Okay, now, let me walk you through this because you have no idea of context. Now, you believe that when someone reads your Quran, he has to read in context, right?
Yes.
He shouldn't take one verse out of the context and ignore everything else, right?
Yeah.
So why did you ignore the first 9 chapters? Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and focused on one verse in a chapter and ignored what came after? Because had you read Mark in context, you would understand what Jesus meant and he did not mean. So why did you ignore the first 9 chapters?
I'm gathering resources, information.
But that's not answering my question. I know you can gather John 14:28, Mark 13:32.
I'm coming to the answer. So I'm gathering the answers.
Did you read the first 9 chapters?
No.
You didn't read the first 9 chapters?
No.
Okay, see, this is what I'm saying. You need to read something in context, and you don't just read one verse out of context. So now let me walk you through it if you're serious. You want me to walk you through it?
Sure thing. Yeah, sure.
All right, now, according to your Quran, I'm going to use the Quran to go to the Bible. I'm not changing subject. Okay. According to the Quran, in Surah Al-Imran, chapter 3, verse 135.
They are those who, upon committing an evil deed or wronging themselves, remember Allah and seek forgiveness for their sins. And who forgives sins except Allah, and they do not knowingly persist in wrongdoing.
Okay, so who forgives sins?
Allah.
Okay, had you started from Mark chapter 1 before you got to Mark 10? I'm going to show you something. I'm going to explain Mark 10, but you got to be patient. If you want me to explain, I can explain. But if you're here to do a hit and run, Mark chapter 2, same Mark you quoted. You quoted Mark 10. Mark chapter 2, verses 1 to 12. Let's read slowly. You just told everyone, only Allah forgives sins.
Yes.
And when he had come to Capernaum, Mark chapter 2, verses 1 to 12, several days afterward, it was heard that he was at home. And many were gathered together so that there was no longer room, not even near the door. And he was speaking the word to them. And they came, bringing to him a paralytic, carried by 4 men. And being unable to bring him to Jesus because of the crowd, they removed the roof over where he was. And when they had dug an opening, they let down the mat where the paralytic was lying, someone paralyzed. And Jesus, saying their faith, said to the paralytic, "Child, your sins are forgiven." I want you to pay attention. He says, "Your sins are forgiven." Yes. So now the Jews say what the Quran said, but now I want to show you what Jesus says. You ready?
Yes, sure.
Pay attention. Hold on. Calm down, just because this is before Mark 10. So here it is, Mark chapter 2, verse 1 to 12. Now watch what they say. They just quote the Quran. But some of the scribes were sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, "Why does this man speak that way? He is blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone?" Isn't that what the Quran said? The Quran says only Allah can forgive sins?
No, it's different.
No. Read chapter 3, verse 135. There is no difference. Stop playing games with me. Reread it. It says, "Who forgives sins except Allah?"
Yes, it does. Okay,
so why'd you say there's a difference? So did the Jews agree with the Quran, only God forgives sins? Right here in front of you. We're going to go, here it is. Mark 2:7 on the screen. Why does this man speak that way? He is blaspheming. Who can forgive sins but God alone? So it agrees with the Quran, right?
Sorry, this is from the Bible, right?
The gospel you quoted Mark 10:18. I'm quoting Mark.
Yes.
Okay, so third time, I don't want to send you to Mecca. The Jews agree with the Quran. Who can forgive sins but God alone, right?
I don't know about the Jews if they forget, if they agree
It's
or
in
not.
front of your eyes.
Could you give me the context? Like, does
I
it
just
say that?
gave it to you. Do you
Yes,
see it?
they are questioning. They are questioning.
Why are they
if,
questioning?
brother, they are questioning like.
Get out of here.